Okay guys, welcome back. I am Dr. Cool. We have a brand new 2024 Toyota Highlander Platinum. And what's the problem here? The AC is having a mind of its own. And this very customer here just called me yesterday. When he say brand new car, I say brand new or used car, because brand new car is alien to most Nigerian because it is highly expensive. And he said he bought it in the US. So what exactly is the problem with this very brand new car here? We're talking about 2024 brand new car Highlander. The AC have a problem. I haven't actually started running any diagnosis before I decided to make this very video here, so I can be able to keep it as my official record and explain to you guys what I'm about to find. So you guys can see my manifold gauge set here. I haven't actually connected the quick connect couplers, and over here you can see my little diagnostic tools here. So I'm about to perform a critical diagnosis on this very car here, and what exactly could be wrong with 2024, not just a used car. This is not a used car, this is a brand new car. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? Now, it is actually brand new car, 2024 model. This man bought it just last year, which is 2025. So I'm certain he haven't actually used this car a lot. We're gonna look at the odometer and see if what he's saying is actually matching up. But from what I'm looking at right now, everything is actually looking mint in condition. So the $1 million question is, what exactly is wrong with the car AC system? He says he's actually found me on the internet, and a bunch of guys have actually tried to address it that last year, which means like he didn't even use the car up to like 6 months before AC started having a problem. And that is my take, because if suppose this very car here is in US, it's still being covered by warranty, so he can literally take it to the dealership and that cover it up. But the Toyota have a dealership right in Nigeria. Well, I don't know, because that is not my job to find out. Mine is actually to get the problem solved. Now, let's get into the real show. The first thing I want to do right here is to connect my quick connect couplers. Oh, yeah, I forgot. This is a quick connect coupler, a common quick connect coupler for R134A. So this very model here is using R1234YF. So I'm going to be removing this very retrofit here and fitting the right fitting for R1234YF. So with that said, I'm going to pause the video right now. I'm going to get that very retrofit. I'm going to be back shortly. Okay guys, now this is the retrofit, the quick connect coupler for R1234YF for a lot of you guys who are new to my channel. And this is R1234A. Can you see the difference? It was intentional so that you don't mistake it. So I'm going to be swapping this onto this quickly, and let's start running a critical diagnosis for people to have fixed it twice and couldn't get it done. So what exactly am I going to be looking at here? Possibly refrigerant leakage or something on 2024? No, except maybe there is where they parked it, there is a lot of corrosion. Yes, it's possibly. So if it is one of those kind of heavy US territory where there is a lot of snow, then we're going to be having a snow party in this very car that's causing a disruption. So finally I've got it swapping. So let me lock up the high side and the low side, which is pretty much normal. Then we remove the cap. Oh, it seems like it's not actually what we're looking at, because he said there was a leakage at the rear side. I think I can actually know exactly what this problem is. I know he said there is a leakage at the liquid and suction line and the gas line that goes to the rear system. Now let's face here so we can take a look at it. I'm gonna set this to bar. Oh, sorry. How do you? Okay. Yeah, PSI. Now the setting is okay. Now we're looking at it right now. I want to get you guys a little bit closer so you can participate and see for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna bring this closer a little bit so you guys can see it right there. So it's 0. Now I'm gonna go ahead and screw in the suction and make sure that all these pipes are tight so we can see if it is actually a leak problem or some other problem. So I'm gonna screw in the suction line and we should be seeing the reading coming in hot. Okay, we got a 75 psi. Well, yeah, that is probably a leak. And let's look at the high side, see if we're gonna get the same. Okay, I didn't fit it well, just a moment, but you guys can see right here. Now let's go on the second time. Okay, you guys can see just about the same thing. We have 75 psi on the low side and 71 psi on the high side. So what am I gonna do right now? I'm gonna turn the camera the other way so look at it from here. So I can just use the static pressure readings here to determine completely what is wrong, but I already have a clue and I'm gonna make a critical inspection because this guy here found me on the internet like most of my customers. So the first test I want to test right now is to start up the car and see if the compressor is gonna kick in and see the pressure readings, and we'll go on from there. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, this is the moment of the truth. About to go inside the car. Let me detach this very camera from here. Let's go inside so you can see for yourself. Oh, sorry, the camera is dirty. I'm gonna clean it just a little bit. Now you can see how clean, how minty everything looks. And yeah, it is actually a brand new car. Now let's go into push the start button, and over here, so not ready to drive. The air is blowing, and we have a lot of good stuff right here. We have type C plug. Whoa, that's cool. Really cool. A lot of type C's. Toyota did a very cool thing for people who, because this is age of smartphones, so we have a lot of type C all over the place for you to plug in and charge your phone on the go. Let's take a look at the back seat before we start going any other areas here. Yes, the same thing down here. We have another type C here, type C here. We have the AC control. So this is probably 4-zone system, and that is just one of the things which I found very impressive about this very platinum Highlander. Okay, let's go over here. You can hear the fan extending its own regard and grating. You can see the speed at 4. Now let's go ahead and look at how many mileage has it gotten so far. Distance covered is around less than 10,000 miles. You guys can see, so he is right. Now let's go ahead and start up the car, and we start making a critical diagnosis and know what went wrong. Step on the brake and push. You just heard the hissing sound right there. So even without going from the front there, I can tell the compressor has kicked in. You can't hear a hissing sound like that without the compressor kicking in. Now a lot of you guys are gonna confuse it that it has a leak underneath the dashboard. No, I don't think for this very car. And the sound system is JBL. So Toyota did actually goes a lot. Look at this whole thing, it's so smooth. Well, 2024 should actually, and the dashboard, I don't think this is gonna be like the older Camry that the dashboard are frying any time soon. Now guys, the shifter, let's go ahead and look at the gauge and see what we can find over there. This is the moment of the truth. But like I said, I already know the compressor has kicked in, and voila. Yes, so you can see 22 psi on the low side and 115 on the high side. Because if you look down there, that is actually a variable displacement compressor that has no clutchless. So there is every tendency that this system, not every tendency, this system has a leakage. The problem is leakage. So it's time for us to start performing inspection. I'm gonna shut this very car down. Whoa, look at that intricate engine there. Got a turbo. You got a turbo. When the hell did Toyota step into cars with turbo? A V6 with turbo? Wait, am I not seeing something clearly, or is this a 4-cylinder engine? No, this has to be 4-cylinder. No, it's 4-cylinder engine with a turbo. Wow. Now, for a lot of you who have been clamoring Toyota, have been shy of turbo, now you got a turbo. And a lot of you who are turbophobic, meet your nightmare here. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this car down, and we're gonna start looking around, because in this situation right now, one of the most critical part of the diagnosis is actually, okay, here look a little bit colder. Let me put my hand off here. This is just, yeah, here is a bit colder. If I have my thermometer right now, you're gonna know that here is a bit colder, and you want to really get it more without using any to reduce the speed. And put your hand, yes, you can start seeing the rally. So I just reviewed one of my biggest secret of troubleshooting car AC that is not blowing cold. And now it's time for us to look around. So I am not sure that this is a problem from Toyota, as a lot of you guys are gonna think. This is a problem of the location where it's parked, and I'm gonna prove it to you guys. I'm not affiliated to Toyota, but when we are doing critical diagnosis and comprehensive diagnosis, truth is one of the main critical. Take a look at the engine here. You're gonna spot a lot of rust on 2024 cars. So the area where this very car is parked is what affected it. You can see right here there are a lot of rusts in places there. And what happens when they attack aluminum? That's a corrosion right there on a steroid. So let me go ahead and shut this car down, and we start diving into the uncharted territory. So here you go. Now it is shut down. You've been hearing that hissing noise. Now it should tell you exactly what that hissing noise means each time you hear it in a car. It's not what you think it is. Okay, so it's time to perform a serious visual inspection. He actually mentioned that the previous time that the technician who worked on it said he spotted the pipe down low was leaking. Hello, buddy. So this is gonna be a serious, yeah. Can you guys see it right there? Now let me show you guys. I think I've spotted it right there. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why people often come to me. Come on, boy. I'm not trying to open the trunk. So, can you guys spot some oil? But that very side, we're looking at oil right there. Yes, we're looking at oil right there. But that doesn't mean that's exactly where the system is leaking from. So we still have to dive in deeper. So I need to go and find my line mat and come over here and we start looking. But since you say that is where they have worked on it before, I'm certain they didn't get it solved the way they should, and that is why this very problem is still persisting. But for me, I don't like doing a wacky work. And for the fact that this system still retains refrigerant, it means it could be a seal problem, or where they welded it, because they say they did a lot of work. They pulled the pipe underneath down and they performed a major surgery. But still after then, we're still having the same problem lingering around here. So guys, I think that's exactly where the problem is coming from. Let me go ahead and pick up my line mat and we come over here.